Chapter 4. The Present. When I got back to class, everybody looked at me. I guess they wanted to see if I was crying or bleeding or anything. "Did Klutz bring you down to his torture chamber?" Ryan whispered when I sat in my seat. "Nope," I said. "He gave me a present." "What did he give you?" "I can't tell." "Oh, come on. I promised I wouldn't tell." "I'll be your best friend." "Well, okay. I'll show you at lunch." During lunch, I sat at the table with my new best friend Ryan, Michael, Smarty Pants Andrea, and Emily, who cries all the time, even if she isn't hurting or anything. You should have seen their eyes bug out when I showed them the candy bar. "Where did you get that?" Michael asked. "Your mom usually gives you carrot sticks for dessert." "Mr. Klutz gave it to me," I explained. "He's got a whole drawer filled with them." "Why did he give you a candy bar?" asked Emily. I could tell she was jealous. "Because I didn't bring in my current event," I explained. "Wait a minute," Andrea said, all angry and all. "You got sent to the principal's office for being bad, and instead of punishing you, he gave you a candy bar? That's not fair. I brought in 3 current events, and I didn't get a candy bar." "Maybe you should try not being so perfect all the time," I said. "You can have my carrot sticks, Andrea." I love getting Andrea mad. She thinks she knows everything. When we have a homework assignment, she does the extra work just to show Miss Daisy how smart she is and make the rest of us look bad. "Mr. Klutz told me he's my pal," I said, biting off a big piece of the chocolate bar, right in front of Andrea's face. "He said I could come in for a candy bar any time I want one." That last part wasn't exactly true, but it was fun to say anyway. "The principal should give candy to students who complete their assignments," Andrea said, "not to kids who don't." "Yeah," Emily sniffed. She looked like she might run out of the room crying like she usually does for no reason. "I want to go to the principal's office," my best friend Ryan announced. "Me too," Michael agreed. "I want a candy bar." They all watched while I finished off the candy. I licked the extra chocolate off my fingers and rubbed my tummy just to make sure they would know how good it was. Chapter 5. My Big Mouth. It just so happens that I know of the perfect way to get sent to the principal's office. All you have to do is put a tack on the teacher's chair. My friend Billy told me he did it once and got sent to the principal's office. I waited until recess, when Andrea and Emily ran off to play with the girls. Then I told the plan to my best friend Ryan and Michael. "That's genius!" exclaimed my best friend Ryan. "What if Miss Daisy gets hurt?" asked Michael. "She won't get hurt," I told him. "She'll jump up so fast that she won't hardly feel it." So at the end of recess, the 3 of us snuck back into our classroom. It was empty. Miss Daisy was eating in the teacher's room. Ryan pulled a tack out of the bulletin board, and I put it on Miss Daisy's chair. Then we ran out to the playground just as the end of recess bell was ringing. When we filed back into the class, Ryan, Michael, and I could barely look at one another because we were afraid we'd burst out laughing. I could hardly wait to see the look on Miss Daisy's face when she sat on her chair. Well, when Miss Daisy sat down, the most amazing thing happened. Nothing! She didn't jump up or anything. She just sat there. Me and Ryan and Michael looked at one another. How could she not feel that? "She must have buns of steel," Ryan whispered. "She's like Superman." Then I realized that I had forgotten to tell Ryan something very important. When you put a tack on the teacher's chair, you're supposed to put the tack a little bit on the side. When you put it in the middle of the chair, the tack sort of, it doesn't have a target to hit, if you know what I mean. Miss Daisy got up to do math, not even realizing there was a tack in her butt. When she turned around to write on the chalkboard, we could see the tack just stuck there, hanging in the middle of her backside. Me and Ryan and Michael thought we were going to die trying to keep ourselves from laughing. It was probably the funniest thing that had ever happened in the history of the world. You should have been there. "Excuse me," said Andrea, raising her hand to ruin everybody's fun, like always. "Miss Daisy, I think there's something stuck to your skirt." Miss Daisy turned around and pulled out the tack. "Who did this?" she demanded. "I did," Ryan bragged. "Go to the principal's office, Ryan." "All right," Ryan whispered, pumping his fist. "I'll be back in a few minutes with the candy bar." "Is there anyone else who wants to go to the principal's office?" Miss Daisy asked. "I do," said Michael. "Can I go again?" I said. "Hey, I asked first," Michael complained. "Quiet, both of you." Miss Daisy pretended nothing unusual had happened and went back to her lesson, but I saw her look at her chair carefully before she sat down again. A few minutes later, Ryan came back to the classroom. Mr. Klutz was with him. "So did he give you a candy bar?" I whispered excitedly when Ryan sat down. "No," Ryan whispered back. "When I told him I thought he would give me a candy bar like he gave one to you, he got really upset. He told me he was going to call my parents and have them come in to talk about what happened. I think we're all in big trouble." Oh man, I decided that maybe it wouldn't be such a good idea to be best friends with Ryan anymore. I should have kept my big mouth shut about the candy bar.